I'm aware in my experience, and many of you probably have experienced this as well, there's a lot of church hurt out there, right? There's a lot of people who've been hurt by Christianity inside or outside of the church, and various perspectives and experiences with that. One person asked here, and I'd love to hear your response, how do I respond to a secular friend who does not view Christianity as merciful, forgiving, kind, loving, embracing, and justice for all? How do we approach the mess that has perhaps been made and partner with the Lord in redeeming that as we head towards the future?
I mean, for anybody who has encountered Christians who don't live that kind of mercy or kindness, I am so sorry that that's been your experience. And I understand it. I've had those experiences as well. And I think the idea of church hurt is not just an idea, it's an experience that many people have. You're hurt by Christians, hurt by specific churches, communities, maybe parents, teachers. And so that's a very real thing. And, even that statement is an appeal back to the teachings of Jesus. And so there's something there that still captivates the world. I was listening to a different podcast a week or two ago, and there's this guy, Professor Scott Galloway. He's Prof G on X, if you ever see him tweet. He's not a believer, pretty opinionated about a lot of things, and he was on this Christian show. And he said, I love the teachings of Jesus, but I don't believe in Jesus' genealogy. He's basically saying, I don't think he's the Son of God, but I like his teachings. And I wonder if the teachings of Jesus are meant to be this little trail that lead us to the person of Jesus himself. Because if you keep reading the teachings of Jesus, he doesn't just say, love your enemy, turn the other cheek, be kind. He doesn't just say that. He also says, do this because that's what your Father is like. And if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. And I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no one comes to the Father except by me. So if the teachings of Jesus are appealing to you, keep going. You'll find that the teachings of Jesus are only powerful because of the one who's saying them. That he actually is. So everybody, let's put it this way. Everybody's putting their faith in something. The only question is it worthy of your faith? Is it actually worthy of your trust? And, Gavin, one of the earlier questions from the 9 a.m. too was I don't know, it just feels so intolerant, it just feels like this isn't kind, When we lived in Colorado, there's an interstate, we call them freeways here in California, I-70, Interstate 70, that goes to the mountains. Now, on a snowy day, and you're trying to get to the slopes, you really only need to go on I-70 because every other road is going to be closed and not safe. And you could say, how dare you tell me not to go on these other highways? It's so intolerant of you to close down other highways. And you go, it's just that these other highways are dangerous, and they won't act, they're dead ends. And you go, but there's good news about I-70. Anybody can drive on it. We'll clear it, we'll plow it, we'll make it safe. Anybody can come, any vehicle. We're not checking for Fords only on Interstate 70. Toyotas only on Interstate 70. Any car can drive, but you got to drive on this one. And in one way, Christianity is the most inclusive religion of all. Anybody can come. But it is also exclusive because we're saying there are other roads that we attempt, and those roads will end up getting you in a dangerous place. Now, coming back to the question about church hurt. There was an Australian historian named John Paul Dixon, and he did this experiment one time. He tried to learn the cello in 2 weeks. Now, anybody who plays a violin or a cello or an instrument like that, you're like, what a dummy, he's not going to learn it in 2 weeks. You're correct. And he wanted to put on a concert for his friends, and he wanted to play Bach's Concerto in G, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yo-Yo Ma has a famous performance of it. So he invites his friends, he rents out the Sydney Opera House in Australia, and his friends come and he performs, and it's horrible. I mean, it's awful. They're just like, why did he invite us here, Now, only a fool would listen to John's performance and go, Bach was an idiot. Bach couldn't write music. You listen to that and you go, John's an idiot, You're like, John can't play the cello, right? Bach is a genius. And then you hear Yo-Yo Ma play the Concerto in G, and you're like, that's goodness. Could there be anything more beautiful than that, right? Jesus introduced to the world the most beautiful song. The song about a God who made you on purpose, the song about a God who loves you, the song about a God who came looking for you when you didn't know how to call for him, the song about a God who gave his life for you when you were at your worst. Have Christians played this song poorly? You bet. Jesus empowers us with the Holy Spirit. He goes, okay, guys, keep singing this song. And we're like horribly off key, right? Once in a while, we squeak a few notes correctly. We're like, there it is. Right? But my appeal to you is don't reject the song because of the singer. There's a beautiful song of hope, of love, of peace, of freedom. And when in doubt, and you can't trust the church, cling to Jesus.